by the sea, and you got the resources from there. So that's my vocation. I'm entitled to receive this one. I'm quite happy not giving anything back to you because that is a bonus. So you can see these two different explanations. If you go back to when I say this one, I have interviewed some cases that back me up. You see, if you go back to the Li Shang Wang Lai, the Li Shang parts, so morality is how do you interpret it morally, and human feelings, because the gift flow sometimes create a positive feeling, sometimes create a negative feelings, and the rational calculation is also you need to measure whether or not I take it or not. If the gift is too big, and teacher say I'm going to lose job if I take it, he will refuse, and then that means if he doesn't refuse, maybe end up he put into jail or something and lose job, and the students and him will be negative reciprocity. So that's how the same example can. It is nothing very simple. There always a coexistence with different reciprocities.
Yeah. So based upon that example, I mean, I would say, this exchange is very similar to perhaps the so-called old peer network, which we get in the UK, which tends to originate from university. So you have your network of people you know from university, you graduate together. Each person goes to a different field of work, and if you need help or advice, you turn to your colleagues in their different fields. But in this instance, you go to a business meeting or you do an exchange of gifts. The expectation is if you give something, you will receive something back. So in that case, if the teacher receives the gift and says, this is my bonus, this is my perk, what happens when their child perhaps has an issue and that teacher doesn't take responsibility, and then the person who gave the donation or the gift, they're going to expect something to be done. But what happens when the expectations are not met?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is like a conflict happen. So every relationship, because you use the from Chinese settings move to the UK. So let's talking about the human being. Since this model is made inside China, but we have been testing the model in different settings, and you gave it one example, which is good. So let's just analyze this one with Li Shang Wang Lai. From the gifts given part, because if this is not in Christmas time, because Christmas people gave something here, and this is special occasion gave to you, and then some string touched the gifts, and he has a certain expectation from the teacher for the special issue of the child, students. So, and then what he expecting is that teacher pays special attention to deal with this one, and then this problem solved, and will be happy both sides. If the problem doesn't solve, there will be. So initially, it is like normally student and the teacher is instrumental relations, and then when the gift given to him is like to turn this instrumental relations, increasing it to expressive. Just want to get close to you, and then so you can do. And then if things happen, everything work out nicely. So the parents and the student, the teacher's relationship from instrumental move to expressive. So that's it. But if this the parents gave the teacher too much donation to the school, to the university, to anywhere, and the teacher who is working this way, because they have already established kind of expressive relationship, and through this way, and then the school actually get extra money out from this student's parents, kind of donation, and in this way, the relationship can be moved a little bit to generosity, that kind of thing. But if the teacher didn't do anything, and then the parents feel hurt because you ignore about everything what I intend to do, and then the relationship can drop down to negative. So you can looking for one set of relationship, fix one particular student and teacher. They can be moved up and down. So this dynamic change itself is a wonderful core nature of the Li Shangwen line model.
Okay, so in conclusion, what will happen is, I understand that the teacher can just refuse and say, it's not my business, it's just my perk, and it becomes negative.
Yeah.
So then, does the person given the gift have the right to then so-called like seek revenge on that person for not meeting their expectation?
Okay, you secretly revenge is one example. Actually, come out from entrepreneur, which I interviewed. If I give you this example, see whether or not you can get better understanding of a particular one, because this the businessman told me he always thought doing business is just business. So he's very good doing his business organization and getting money, and his firm grows from 10 people to 50 people and then 80 people. And one day he was almost killed by someone, which is who is state classmate of his high school class. And then in hospital, he was reflecting. He said, well, I'm doing business, and I'm looking after so many people, and I create 80 job opportunities for people. Why, and I earn not money, everybody say I'm good. Why end up I got killed? I almost got killed by a friend of mine. And then this is because of that friend lost job, can't find any job, and then thinking very hard, and come to him to ask for whether or not I can have some job, whatever. But he didn't take care of the feeling of the person, and he didn't pay much attention, because he invited him for a meal, maybe spent half month's salary, but for him it's so normal, so he completely ignored the feeling of the person once again, and he didn't notice at all until the person out of burst and just say, well, you treat me like this, we used to be a very good friend, I'm going to kill you. And then that's how the reason.
Extreme.
And then, so what he learned from this experience, he says, human feeling, if you think about the morality and rational calculation, human feeling, and the spiritual whatever reason, human feeling have a positive feeling and a negative feeling. And this kind of a negative feeling, jealous of him, or jealous to be hate. In Chinese, we have 记恨. So it's not only 嫉妒, 嫉妒 is jealous, 记恨is very hateful kind of thing. And then that's happened. And then he reflects himself, he actually have 7 sets of relationship needed to be looked after. And then he come back to say, one day when we have a lot of, warehouse, the person, the guard, the porter of the warehouse forgot keys, and a lot of my materials got ruined in the rain. And then he said, must be the guard have something. And this is he says he forgot his keys, but behind the forgot keys, he is actually showing me something. And then he sent someone to ask for the guard or anything else. Actually, it was, because a lot of things he can ignore. But ignore these people, they can be far away. The guard is far away from his relations, but he recognized this is one set of relationship needs to be looked after in his work. So come back to your question is about this revenge. Do you think your question and this entrepreneur's experience are quite similar or different?
I think that answers the question, that you have the right to do that. But in my experience, if the person trying to behave above their station, they are then shown that they can be replaced very quickly and very easily. So, for example, here you explain that the porter can demonstrate his importance to the boss by forgetting his keys. Therefore, the goods are ruined. Yeah. Therefore, the boss loses their shipment. Whereas the boss would have the right then to say, "My things are ruined. It's your fault. I looked after you. I gave you a job in the first place. So therefore, I can replace you."
Okay.
So then, who's right?
That's a good question. So the difference is you have to see why this porter got the job, and what is the relationship with him. Whether or not I can